Hey, yo,
Yo,
welcome
woo,
in on our
woo.
half-hearted attempt at what is a partial rebrand. Welcome in, joining us on a Wednesday. We didn't want to cheat the fans, and I was working, ironically, at the Fan 97.3. That was Coach Quintera, one of my favorites of all time. His big thing was like,
Great
I don't
guy.
want to cheat the fans. I always wanted to take calls in the Padre post-game show. I was like, dude, they lost by 9 runs. Like, we don't need to take calls. We all want to go home. I don't want to cheat the fans.
Got to
But
hear from the fans, man. Let them speak their
and
voice.
yes, I mean, sometimes that does give you good content. But Pepsi
Mm-hmm.
to the moon. Thank you guys for joining us on a Wednesday.
Mm.
Actually, a lot of tasty bits of news going on here for a midweek session. So I appreciate you guys all joining us. Tyler, how are you doing on Wednesday? Now at the Full Capacity Kings show.
Yeah, feeling just wide open for business. No restrictions on how many people we can have watching the show now. Now everybody can watch it all at once. We're not restricted to 1 or 2 people watching at a time. Man, yeah, feeling good. It's good. A good couple sports days here. Normally the midweek is kind of like you're worried about sports stories, and we're just kind of scrambling to find stuff. That wasn't the case this week, so definitely looking forward to that. Ronnie, how you doing today?
Doing well. Still, behind the scenes working on. We're gonna have some kind of. We'll hash it out. Some kind of format change here, whatever it is. But
Mm-hmm.
wanted to keep the show going for you guys, and yeah, I mean, with all the soccer going on, NBA, NHL playoffs, it's just too much going on to be denied. So happy to be here with you guys, taking it in, drink it in. You drink it in.
Drink it in, man.
You look
You
at
look
what's
at
being
this.
consecrated here. But thank you guys for joining us. Hit us in the comments. I already saw Jaime in there early on.
Always. He's
Shout out
always
to
tailgating.
Wales, always with the tailgate. Big shout out to Wales. Gareth Bale did have a great game. That missed PK was real bad,
Oh
but
boy. Oh boy.
I'm not going to let that overshadow his whole game. Him and Ramsey seemed to have
That was awful.
it was bad. It was bad, but it wasn't like the end of the world, and they won by 2. So
True
we'll
words.
see what happens when they get up on Italy for first place in the bracket. But it seems unlikely because Italy has all their games at home. Fortunate, but
and they're also really good.
To that point, Jaime, with the other second point, yes, they're pretty suavecito looking out there. These swarthy Italian guys, young Italy, kind of balling. Just gonna say it. A little bit more swashbuckling, attacking style. Yes, they haven't played teams that they really need to play classic Italy. All right, just kick the shit out of everyone until we go to penalties and win. They haven't got to that point yet. Wales will not be that game either. I expect that to be very much up and down on Sunday, but still, they have looked good. They have looked very good.
Yeah. Italy's dominating. We'll get into that in a little bit when we get to the Euro scores. But yeah, Italy is. I'm kind of. I still think France is the best on paper, but just the way they've been playing, I'm kind of thinking Italy's got a shot, man.
The thing with Italy, I feel like I was texting Tyler earlier today. It's hard to get a read because kind of a sweetheart deal for them to have all these first 3 group stage games at home. All right, in Olympico, it's all right. But they have shown out pretty well. And I do like seeing, I'm watching the ESPN coverage, Del Piero, one of the GOATs, on the coverage. Definitely entertaining, and I like his insight. But before we get into all that, I think we should probably take a look at the NBA playoffs here and bring up the current bracket. Well, it was current up to a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
The Hawks, sorry, Amanda, again, it's not personal, but, man, a 25-point lead at least 21, 23. And he just let it go. That is not my fault. That is not my fault. So feel how you want to feel. But
it's not Blake's fault. It's not Blake's fault.
It's not Blake's fault. It's all of our fault. We got to play better. And Doc is right there. It's not Joel's fault.
That's true. He's there. I actually didn't even think about that when I said that.
It's not Ben's fault. It's not Ben's fault. We got to shoot better. We got to play better. But on the note of the NBA, just a couple things we have to get out of the way right off the top that were both came out today, which was definitely a blow to the teams in the West.
Rough
First of
morning
all,
for sure.
yeah, Chris Paul, after their sweep of Denver, now he's in the protocol. I don't know what that entails. I don't know. I know they said depending on if you have or have not been vaccinated, like it might be more or probably less, at this, depending on it, like your testing status and things like that. I don't know if he was just around someone that was positive, whatever it is, but he is on the sidelines for now. For, as Sham said right there, like indefinite period of time. At least they wrapped it up early, I guess, their previous series, while the other one is still going on. So maybe they have a couple more days to work their way out of that. And on to the other Western Series, as Tyler so graciously named, Kawhi. Yes, Kawhi, who was trying to talk this off after the game the other night. He said it was fine, no problem. And now the Clippers think that he might have injured his ACL, and he is also out indefinitely and definitely out for the end of the series.
Yeah, I mean it's that's just a rough break. Again, hopefully the Chris Paul get the sort of. I did see something kind of just before we jumped on air that it's believed that he did receive the vaccine in February. So I don't know if the rules are going to be different on how many times he has to test negative, things like that. So hopefully he can come back. Obviously he's been huge for Phoenix so far. So they'll definitely miss him. And then just God, without Kawhi, I mean, can the Clippers get it done with only Paul George? I'm inclined to say no. I'm inclined to say hell no. Like if there's any time for him to prove that he's been worth that massive contract, this is it, buddy. This is your proving ground. So rough blow for them, though. I mean, it's hard to not root for Kawhi, man. He's a real likable player, obviously super talented, balling out like crazy. Especially this series, I think he's just been carrying the Clippers into the 2-2 tie they're at right now. So it's hard to see them winning this now.
Well, I mean, the only thing that it always comes up with this, because Kawhi, I'm not saying he personally started this, but he was sort of at the ground level of this load management thing. And yet we saw last year Clippers, like, they were saying they were too tired to play that game 7 or whatever, like, against Denver. Like, really, dude? And then, like, anyone can get hurt at any time. Like, these are huge guys or super athletic. Like, it's just, how far does that load management get you? Because I feel like we have been seeing the best of Kawhi up until this point. And, I'm not rooting for anyone to get seriously injured. I love hating on the Clippers. I'm not rooting against any individual to get, like, actually hurt. But
right.
It's kind of like you just have to play and see what happens at a certain point. Like, it could have happened, like, in February. Like, this could have happened at any point. So the load management thing, I guess it kind of cuts both ways. I don't know what to really say about that, but it's a bad look when any team that Kawhi is going to be on is always going to be associated with that. And then, and honestly, unfortunate for him too, that he has to be like the poster child for this. But because, like I said, you can get hurt on any play at any time, but it just further compounds like maybe just play him out. Like, he has looked like, more spry, more fresh legs, a lot more like attacking the rim, dunking on people, all this stuff. But again, like, that can all sort of go away real fast. Like, if you just actually get hurt. So I don't know how much that gets you.
Yeah, I mean, like a thing like an ACL, I don't know how much that actually would have to do with load management. I mean, and I hear what you're saying, and I'm with you. Like I think kind of I to an extent I understand load management. I think sometimes NBA teams take it like way too far with load management. Uh, but I don't think the ACL injury would typically have to do with that.
No, that's
But of
just
course,
that's an injury that can happen. Like that could be like a non-contact injury in probably
right,
any sport where you're really running full speed. But
right,
my whole point was just like things like this can happen where even the load management will not save you from that happening, sort of thing. Like,
okay. I see. I misunderstood. Yeah. I mean, can't argue that. But like I said, it just sucks. I do like Kawhi. Like I'm pretty. I mean, like obviously we know you're a Clipper hater. I do like to make fun of them, but overall I'm pretty neutral on them. I don't really care one way or the other about the Clippers. Um, but it does just suck just seeing one of the best players getting taken out. And like I said, he was having a great series. He carried them. Like the only reason it's 2-2 is because of Kawhi. So it actually I see the Clippers. They're holding their own so far. I think they're only down 7 with 10 minutes left in the half. So again, I don't know where they go, and I don't know where Kawhi goes because I mean, again, this is like he's as we've said multiple times, he's got the option to leave now. So I kind of don't know. I'm curious to see where he goes with that. If he's comfortable with staying there, if he's like, look, we've tried for 2 years, it's not working, I'm out.
yeah, I don't think he would really take the injury into account in this case. And again, even if I am a Clipper hater, which I am, I hope it's
Please
not
believe
like
that.
I hope it's not a tear or something serious like that where he may actually be able to come back in the next round if they get through this. But
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like my whole point was just load management. Yes, I feel like it does add, keep some more tread on the tires, but something like this can happen literally anytime. So
Right.
um, I don't know. I mean, the Jazz obviously they got to have this game, but we'll see what happens. Um, and a shout out to Sippy as well for rejoining the program here, as we are now. You can see on the overlay the full capacity King Sports here in California.
And I
I
saw
do
I saw on his Twitter he was up in the mountains for like a week or a weekend, so he's back in civilization.
join us here,
Hmm.
talking that shit about sports. I do want to bring in, if we can reach him from the Matrix, the CEO of the program, Mr. Nick Barrios. I'm going to add him on the Canada Steak Burger Celebrity Hotline / the Matrix Celebrity Hotline. The CEO of the program, Nick, joining the program live. Do we have him? Do we have audio? Are you okay? Can you hear us?
Guys, I'm scared right now. I think I'm caught in the matrix. This thing feels too real. I'm
Red
actually.
pill or blue pill? Red pill or blue pill? What are you taking?
It says Canada Steak Burger. Do I eat it or not?
Eat that burger. Eat the burger, even if it's virgin.
Eat it.
Doesn't it
Do
taste
it.
good?
Do it.
It tastes great.
Ow.
Surprise! It was fake the whole time.
Oh. All right. You know what? I don't know. Oh.
No, I especially wanted to bring you in, though. Thank you for joining us. As it pertains, I know you had some comments last night about the Brooklyn-Milwaukee series. It feels like just a bad look for Milwaukee all the way around. They were up by 15, 16 points at halftime and just let that go away. Yes, we all know about the night Durant had. Just didn't seem to me like it should have gotten that far. Yes, I mean, like at some point, Durant can just go and score whenever he wants to. But if you're already staked to that lead, you should be able to hold on to that at least a little bit. And I just thought, like, the little bit I saw, like in the third quarter, I was like, they're going to lose. They're going to lose. Like, they don't know how to hold this lead, and they're going to lose.
So, watching that game, well, first of all, I love the new name. I like it. I've got something that can go with it, but I'll talk to you guys after the show about that. So, going to that game, I was like, Charles Barkley during the halftime show made a kind of like a dumb comment. But, it's his opinion.
Charles, a dumb comment? No.
It was a dumb comment, but then he also made a great point. So his first comment was like, "I believe the Milwaukee Bucks will win a championship." I was like, whoa there, buddy, whoa. I was like, listen, if I can believe the Knicks, like I have faith in the Knicks, but I'm also realistic. With the second point he made, he's like, they can go to they can win a championship, but they take stupid shots. And I agreed with him because like looking at the breakdown, it really just came down to you had the lead. Giannis, like Blake Griffin had no answer for you. He literally could not stop you off the dribble, off the post, off the catch and shoot. In the mid range game, it was pretty much you could take him at any point. And then he started to kind of just settle for outside shots, became more passive. I guess as the lead was just like growing immensely. I think at one point they were up 20, 22. But yeah, like I don't think to me the Bucks now are just this perennial second round team. We'll make the playoffs, we'll get to the second round, and then we'll see nothing come of it. So I was just like, man, like this might be the dagger. They had the opportunity. Harden wasn't playing well. You didn't have Kyrie. So
Harden was game. I mean, he was out there like playing hard, trying to check guys, like they put him on, whatever. Like, but I felt like he was kind of more of a decoy. Like he's probably not anywhere near 100%, obviously, like what he would normally be. But even that, it just, the way that things like went down, I was like, dude, the Bucks, they're doing the same thing again. Like, and they had this big lead in this game on the road, and they're just like, they can't keep it. Like, there's no way. Like, I don't believe in this team.
Yeah, it also it came down to just like not reading the proper mismatches. At some point, Brook Lopez had a guard on him, and I don't know if there was a communication issue or like if I'm Brook Lopez and I have a small defender on me, I'm yelling "mouse in the house, give me the ball." Even if I know I can't score that, even if I know I'm not a proficient scorer, I can at least draw a double team on me, and then I have options to then kick out to the line, kick out to the elbow, take him off a dribble, find the cutter inside. It's like watching, I was like, you have the lead, but I don't really feel comfortable that you'll actually keep the lead. So in a sense, I kind of saw this like slipping away once the third quarter started.
Well, look, ultimately, I think our good friend No ID Justin, I think he sums it up perfectly there. It's just,
yes, absolutely.
Man, Giannis, kids, please practice your free throws. It's free points. It is literally in the name. It's free points.
And I saw
practice free throws, make your free throws.
And Justin makes a great point there because I was awake to see like the inside of the NBA. Like I missed parts of the game. I was feeling pretty bad after my COVID shot, so I was like,
"Oh boy,
out.
Waxed up, waxed up, and waxed up,
waxed up and waxed up." Now, back in the mix. But
skies out, thighs out.
That's right. But no, actually, to that point, Kenny Smith brought up a great point in the post-game show on Inside that I saw. It's like their best player can't shoot free throws. And it's different from you, Shaq, because you would already have like 45, 50 points sometimes. So you're going to get yours either way. Like, it doesn't matter. No one or probably even two people can guard you from scoring. So if you shoot 50% on the free throw line, it could be better, but like we're still in a good spot. But with Giannis, like when it gets down to the end of the game and it's a close game, they have to like draw plays where he's like setting picks and stuff, like because they don't want him to get fouled and have to go to the line. So it just, I don't know. I mean, I think they have a lot of good players on that team. I thought when they added Holiday, it was a good addition as well. But I don't see how they could take that next step. Like after that game last night, it really like put a huge spotlight on like the shortcomings of the Bucks, like as presently constructed.
Yep. And ideally now it's like you had your chance. Like you're playing like a weakened Nets team who like literally they're now depending on one superstar instead of the three-headed monster of Kyrie, James Harden, and Durant. And it's like you had your shot.
Well, you had a huge lead too.
Exactly.
You were killing them at halftime. And then it was like, oh, what do we do with this lead? And then Durant starts getting wet. You know, he's just like raining on everyone. You can run like 4 or 5 different guys at him. It's not going to matter. But, yeah, I mean, they let it get to that point. That was the main thing that stood out to me. Like, it did not have to get to that point. And it just seems like a thing that's always going to happen with this current Bucks team. Like, Giannis, great defender. I mean, tons of range defensively and things like that. But you can't really, like, all right, we got 8 seconds left. Like, you're not going to drop an isolation play for Giannis. Like, you just can't, because they're probably just going to foul him.
Yeah.
Take their chances with them shooting a free throw.
And ideally, too, you have Holiday, too, as the second option. And I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% sure he's a better free throw shooter than Giannis. So it's like you have that there. So, I mean, it is what it is. One thing I wanted to touch on when you were talking about Kawhi, yes, like, you never really want to see a player go down. Like, you don't really want to feel happy for someone's injuries. But with the load management, I get it. You want to kind of, like, break down the wear and tear on that. But look how far, too, we've come with sports medicine. Like, you've got all types of cryotherapy, different types of stim treatment, cupping. Like, players are finding new ways to take care of themselves. So I'm kind of, like, also kind of agreeing with, like, how load management, yeah, like, I can see you use it. I see why you use it, but we've come a long way as far as sports medicine. Imagine if, like, players like MJ, Patrick Ewing, Pippen had what we have now back then. They probably would have lasted a lot longer in the league.
That's probably, and again, with the nature of what may or may not be Kawhi's injury, like I said, that is not related to load management. But
Right.
my whole thing was, like, that could happen at any time. Like, yes, he had fresher legs. We saw that, especially in this series. He looked like really like he was ready to go, like mid-season, where all these other guys had played a long season to get to this point. But at a certain point, like, I don't know where you find the balance of, like, the load management, or do we just put our best guys out there? Because that could have happened. It could have never happened, and it could have happened, like, in November, and, like, we don't see him again for the rest of the season. So, like, that is a freak injury, but it can only get you so far. Kind of like, obviously the Raptors hit on that magic formula where everything worked out and he was well rested and he kicked everyone's ass in the playoffs. But that's not a guarantee. It's not guaranteed. You know, we know this. We know this.
How does Brandon Marshall feel about that?
It's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed.
It's just not.
It's not. It's not. But I mean, I'm thinking now, like, how load management applies to the NBA. We might start applying it on the show. Like, hey guys, I'm start, like, giving you guys a day off. You know, load management here or there. Got to keep you guys fresh, especially new name.
Not for me. I'm old school. Give me every show. I'm out here every show, giving it my all.
Tyler wants to play every game.
Give me back to backs. I'll play back to backs. 48 minutes.
He pitched 2 doubleheaders in a row. Like,
that's right.
No hit 3 of them.
That's right. I'm the old Huss Radborn of this show.
Oh man.
I'm struck by lightning. I still pitched a complete game, like the guy on the Indians.
That's right. I'm out here pitching 120 complete games.
100 pitches
all
each.
Year. Granted, my ERA might be like 8.3, but still.
This arm ain't gonna break. Come on, give me the ball.
And I'm throwing only fastballs at like 78 miles an hour.
He takes the ball every second day. He wants it. He demands it.
Single second. Wait, Tyler, whatever you do not throw that bottle to the side. We're trying to get more sponsors here.
They don't
Delicious
sponsor
Gatorade. If Gatorade wants to be a sponsor, they can. They can be.
Is it in you? Is it in you? Is it in you?
Is it in you?
Well, guys, thank you for having me. I'm about to go back to the Matrix right now.
All right. Well,
hopefully
we see Nick again in these parts. But
somebody watch Tron. We got to know how to get Nick out if he gets sucked in.
I don't know.
That kind of scaring me.
Well, in case we never see you again, let me give you one final send-off on the Canada Steak Burger Celebrity Hotline. And we wish you well, sweet prince. Do what you have to do in that Matrix.
Safe travels. Safe travels, my friend.
There he goes. There he goes into parts unknown that we can never fully understand without purchasing the Facebook Oculus. Not a sponsor, again. But on that note that Nick brought up, and it ties into, let's go into the Euros right now. Yesterday, we did have, yes, thank you, Jaime. We'll get to that shortly. Actually, right after this, Hungary at Portugal. I thought Hungary did have some good fan support there in Budapest, and I thought they really played well. Just didn't really show the ability to threaten the goal, and then it was just like it was a swarm at the end. And Ronaldo's last goal was a great goal. The penalty was good, and it was like the dam burst. I mean, they were holding it back as long as they could. Great fan support, but Portugal really had to have this game, all things considered, and they do come away with it. The second game, I thought lived up to the hype completely.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just an excellent game, the best game I've seen so far in this, even though the only goal was an own goal. Just bad timing. I mean, the guy was trying to make a play. It kind of bounced on him. He hit it with his shin instead of his foot. Kicked it.
It was Hummels, right? That got the own goal.
Just a tough break. But I thought this game was played so well from top to bottom. I texted Tyler, I texted the Baron, you couldn't really take your eyes off of it because everyone on the field was so good. It was just played at such a level that it was like watching a FIFA video game. Like everyone was it was like end to end. Anyone is capable of anything out here. I thought it was really good. I love seeing Neuer making classic Neuer moves. Like there was at one point where
he's still so good.
Comes out to pick up a ball at the top of the penalty area. You think he's going to dive on it and roll on it. No, he just scoops it and shovels it to the right back. Just no, keep it going. He's always halfway down the field for no reason, but I mean, he can handle himself out there with his feet too. I thought it was a great game. France just looks, they got to be the favorites right now.
Yeah, I agree. First of all, Laura, you're great. Just say that right now.
Shout out.
But yeah, I mean, the Portugal-Hungary, I actually thought Hungary played really well for a lot longer than I thought they would. I mean, that game was what? It was 0-0 till the 84th minute, something like that. So they played a lot better than I thought they would. Maybe they're not, I still think they're easily finishing last in this group of death, but I think they'll probably look better than I thought they would. Yeah, and then France-Germany. Just, I mean, we said it on Monday, even with kind of all the turnover that Germany's having right now, they're going to be, this is their manager's last tournament. They've kind of got some of the old guard that's moving out, new guard coming in. They're still just a well-oiled machine, just incredible technical quality. But that roster is just ridiculously loaded. I know we were kind of texting. I texted you on I think the goal wound up getting disallowed. But Pogba making some ridiculous pass, Mbappe making some crazy sprinting run in the 80th minute, where you can see the German backs they're getting a little bit tired because they're having to play higher. They're trying to make up that goal difference, and then Mbappe just flies past them like he just stepped onto the field.
He does not get tired. That is the thing.
No, he doesn't.
He was faster than everyone from the beginning to the very end,
yeah.
And that always gives you a release valve. And he will still take people one-on-one also, let alone just being faster than everyone. And probably as strong as a lot of these defenders too. Even a center back, he's not going to just get bowled over. So I thought, honestly, Germany came out at the beginning of the second half and it was working for them. So they kind of had to stay with that. But I texted the Baron this, they're pushing up higher up the field. They're getting more chances off of this, but you better get that next goal, because if you don't, France, it takes them 3 seconds to get back down the field. And then you have Mbappe, who's always the release. The two guys that can just turn everything around. Conte destroying everything in the midfield. Pogba can go either way. And then Benzema. Benzema, he's not shy in front of the goal either. That's just going to be a tough knockout. They're definitely going into the elimination rounds. And it's hard for me to see a team that really can match up or even just contain that team and get it to you could maybe hope for a penalties or just maybe hope for a couple sucker punch early on. But I mean, France just looks like the team right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like you just said. Even if you get a goal on them, they can just turn around and make it up like no problem. By the way, yeah, this show is great when you're not on it. It's even greater when you are on it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shout out, Justin.
Please call him.
But yeah, France again. They just even and I'm sure we'll talk about it in a minute when we go over today's games. But Italy's kind of got me questioning my pick for France. But France is still probably just on paper. They still have to be the favorites, and I know it's only 1-0 over Germany, but that's
1-0 over Germany is
that's probably going to be the toughest game they have, maybe until like the semifinals.
Yeah, and that's with 2 disallowed goals. Also, I mean, I thought they were fair decisions, but pretty close. In the past, I wouldn't be like super broken up if they were allowed. I mean, they were close.
Right.
So they just look better than everyone. But real quick before we get into today's game and the rest of the slate, I do want to touch back on Jaime's point because this just shows you some of the power that is going on here.
Real power.
With who really has the power here?
It's that CR9 power.
As Jaime made reference to, kind of seemingly innocuous, but when you have like 300 million followers on Instagram and you're a brand unto yourself, not really innocuous. But Ronaldo, all he did was move these Coke bottles out of the way and say drink water, but it set off a whole thing.
Coca-Cola.
Então, olá, boa tarde a todos. Queria dar as boas-vindas à conferência.
So that's noteworthy unto itself, but you think it's just like, well, maybe they don't sponsor him, whatever. But no, it actually had far-ranging implications for the Coca-Cola company, as their market value went down literally $4 billion. I don't have the exact figures on that, but their stock did go down after that, like within 30 minutes of that. So that's pretty gnarly. I don't know what else to say. That's all he did was just move it out of the way. Like, just drink water, don't drink soda, whatever. I don't know what he was getting at. I don't know if that was directed at Coke or just like, he's a pretty healthy guy. He's 36, 37 years old, whatever he is. He's in great shape. So maybe it was a health.
Sugar has not been in that man's body since like 1998.
I would assume not. But that was sort of at the time you would think like, I don't know if that's a flex or, that's kind of funny that he did that. But then you see the actual financial implications for the Coca-Cola bottling company here. That's pretty significant.
I'm sure Coca-Cola will be fine, but that actually is like absolutely hilarious that Ronaldo just moving a Coke bottle out of the way and saying drink water can cost a company $4 billion.
I mean, if you want to see who really moves the needle, it's
Look, Coke, you want to get your stocks back up? Sponsor us. We'll pimp your shit out.
Come on. We can take on Ronaldo right now.
Right now. I'll take on that. I will take on that pretty boy. Yeah.
I will fly over there right now and just like, wow. Why?
Ronnie's out here. Why? Ronnie's out here biting kneecaps. Look, we'll fight. We'll fight his undoubted like legion of eunuchs. We'll fight through them to get to Cristiano Ronaldo.
That was not Dasani, by the way. I think it was just they don't make bottles like that. That's all I'm saying.
Couldn't tell you for sure.
But Jaime steadfast. He will be drinking a Coca-Cola soon. Look, they're not suffering. I mean, yes, $4 billion. That's life-changing money. But for them,
Look, I'm with you, Jaime. I've always been on the Messi side of Messi versus Ronaldo. So, drink Coke.
No, Messi's on Team Pepsi, dude.
That's true. He's Team Pepsi. That's true.
He doesn't even care about youth diabetes, obviously. Getting on to today's game. Finland, I thought, just a nice gesture. Did come out with just everyone wearing T-shirts, just support for Eriksson, which I appreciated. They did have what I thought was a pretty nice goal, but it was, again, VAR, man. I mean, it was offsides. It was offsides. It's just like, this would have been a goal before, and it does kind of take some of the joy out of watching the game when they score a goal and you don't know if it's a goal. Like, should I celebrate? Should I not celebrate?
That's actually why Antonio stopped celebrating goals midway through the year for West Ham.
Yeah, because the Premier League one is even worse. Don't even get me started on that.
God,
but
yeah.
It does take a little bit of the visceral reaction, just excitement out of it. I mean, like I said, they showed the replay. It was offside. It was the correct call.
Sure.
So in this case, yes, the VAR was used correctly, but it just, it was really close and probably wouldn't have been a goal like any other tournament before now. But Russia does get the win there. Wales, we talked about a little bit before the show here. Bale had just a diabolically terrible missed penalty, but he did have a good game. Him and Ramsey had a really good connection. Turkey, they were game, but they couldn't really get anything going towards the net. I thought Wales was going to win when it was 1-0. They added the second one. Not really surprised, and now their prize is going to play Italy for first place in the group. But Italy really again showed great against Switzerland, and Switzerland again overmatched. Italy having a favorable situation here, playing all the group stage games in Rome, so hard to get a read. But as I was telling Tyler earlier, kind of impressed by some of these lesser known or younger guys on Italy that I was maybe aware of or hadn't I didn't fully know who these guys were, but they really looked good and they looked together as a team. So I was really impressed by Italy. I thought it could have been 5 or 6-0.
Yeah, I do got to say about the Turkey-Wales game, I went into this game thinking it was going to just be dreary and bleak, just because in the first in each of their first games they both played a very defensive, we don't even want the ball style of play. So I was worried that it was just going to be kind of two teams just staring at a ball sitting at midfield, waiting for the other one to blink. But I was actually relatively entertained by what I saw from that game. So shout out Wales. I think they've clinched at least a third place spot, and 4 points might get them one of those. I think it's what the 4 best third place teams in the group stage go on to the knockout round. So they may have punched their ticket with this win. So good on them. Turkey, I don't think they're officially eliminated, but it's pretty bleak for them. And then
Not
Italy,
looking great, yeah.
No, not looking great for Turkey. And then just Italy, just awesome. I think you made the point earlier, they're on a run of, I think, 10 straight games where they haven't conceded a goal. You look at the schedule, it hasn't been the toughest competition, but even then, just watching them play, you can see, it kind of doesn't really matter who they'd be playing right now, with the exception of, maybe 2 teams in the world. They would be putting on this kind of performance. They've just been awesome. We were both texting about Spinazzola. That guy has just been everywhere. I think you had said you can't go 10 seconds without seeing him on the camera. Just that's how much ground he's covering.
I've been most impressed by him. We know the MO of Italy is always play to not get scored on. And yes, they've played maybe lesser teams when they know they can score on them and they're getting a little bit more aggressive. But that guy, I feel like he is due for a big payday after this tournament. I don't know. You see that all the time coming out of these big tournaments, suitors coming in for them. I think he's drawn a lot of eyes. I mean, he is the classic swashbuckling wingback guy. He is always down the field attacking, but always in the right spot. He's always back on defense too. Italy has had some of these bigger guys that are kind of they deputize as wingbacks, but they're really more like wingers. They're just big, like Abate or different guys like that. But this guy seems to have the whole thing put together. He is playing for Roma right now, so I'm sure Mourinho's licking his chops, like, oh, I can't wait to get
Oh,
to
yeah.
work with this guy. But
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
well,
know.
he could be a defensive player for Mourinho. God, he's got to love that shit.
Well, and just a mega wingback. I mean, he's a threat going forward too. Like,
Yeah, he is.
it's just like a guy that you cannot deny. Like, he has a problem going forward and backwards. Like, he will lock you up, and then he's always back on the like midfield line going forward. Like, all right, what are we doing? I can cross the ball. Like, yeah, give me the ball. Like, he's not afraid of getting the ball as a defender, which I like.
Right. And then, today, of course, Locatelli had the brace, got 2 goals, including a second one from outside the box. It was just really well struck. Yeah, I mean, just placed it perfectly in the corner. Kind of like if the goalie didn't get the jump on it right away, there was no way he was getting to it.
As of now, he's due for the biggest payday, I think, of anyone in this.
Yeah.
I know the guy on Ukraine, the striker, he is looking pretty good. Arsenal's in for him. So, I'd hate to see him go and ruin his prime years in Arsenal. But
Oh, no.
he's got some juice on him. But, yeah.
Look, hey, if you want European competition, come to West Ham. West Ham needs another striker.
Come to West Ham.
But yeah, and then and Immobile getting a goal pretty late too, which that made me happy. Also, I made the point to you. Of course, he had to live up to the Italian stereotype. I saw at one point in time he was yelling at the ref and doing the Godfather hands the whole time. Like it wasn't even like the reach out and touch. It was straight up just the Godfather, fingers right there. Yeah, that was it. I was like, oh, sometimes stereotype exists for a reason. But again, just great performance. I mean, this pretty much clinches their spot through. I think I saw, and I may need to look at it again, just because their brackets are kind of weird. It all depends on who finishes third place and all that stuff. But it looks like Italy and France could be in line to meet the semifinals, which would in some ways be a shame because that could be a hell of a Euro final match.
Yeah, but that's a hell of a semifinal too. I mean, that's a heater right there.
Oh, of course it is.
I'd like to see both of those teams get together the way they're playing right now. And I kind of interested to see how
nice
France.
Pull, I like that.
It's going to come out in their next game because they have a much easier game than Germany. Obviously, that's one of the tougher draws you can get there. But I don't really expect them to let off. It just seems like they're so good. All signs point to at least the semifinals for France. And at this point, the momentum they have, I would have to say probably Italy as well. So if that does happen, I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, no, I think it will be an awesome game. I feel like that would be such a good final. Like I almost feel like it's almost a waste to have that a semifinal with the way both teams are playing right now.
Let's take a look at tomorrow's games before we do have to, of course, blow up Major League Baseball, but we'll get to that.
Ooh, as we are wont to do.
Ukraine and our beloved North Macedonia. Just, it's just one of those, like, it was a great story that you guys made it this far, but I don't know if you can swim in this deep end with some of these teams.
They're just happy to be there, I think.
Well, I mean, they're certainly happy to be there, but, I would like to see them maybe win a game. That would be historic for them. I don't see it happening against Ukraine either.
No.
But, we have that as the early game. Belgium and Denmark. Got to think Belgium all the way on that. I know Lukaku in the fantasy realm is pretty much like the hottest guy going right now for this current round of games. Everyone's expecting him to probably, and all credit to him too. I mean, with Inter this year, probably like the best season of his life. Like, he's been a great player for a long time, but I think he's really peaking right now, and that Belgium team is so good. Plus, you probably get De Bruyne back by all indications that I saw. That's only going to make it easier for him against Denmark.
And who knows what kind of mental state the Denmark team will be in.
Yeah, of course.
I did see Lukaku already said today that their plan tomorrow is actually at the 10th minute, Belgium is going to intentionally kick the ball out of bounds, and they've asked that the crowd do a standing round of applause for the entire 10th minute for Christian Eriksen. So nice gesture. Obviously, Lukaku and Eriksen are teammates, so that's pretty important to him. But yeah, I think you're. I mean, Belgium's. Even if Eriksen was there with Denmark, Belgium probably runs away with this. I mean, they are. This is kind of the tail end of the golden age right now, so they're kind of desperate to really make something happen with this crew they have. So I definitely see them winning that one pretty easily.
First of all, I want to address this. Jaime putting his name on it. North Macedonia
Oh,
over Ukraine.
I love it. I love
like it. In fact, yes. I do not even like it. I love it. Entertainment purposes only. Sorry that it's an old header on there. But, I didn't have time to change everything. But
we don't have money.
We don't have money. We do not have money. Of all the things we have, money is not one. But I do appreciate the boldness of that. And I agree. It's going to be very emotional. I mean, you don't know what you're going to really see from Denmark. I think they are going to lose. Belgium just got too much juice. I mean, they're just too good to a man. But it's going to be something to watch. I mean, just the scene of it, being in Copenhagen, it's going to be pretty emotional just to take in the scene of the crowd and everything, I'm sure.
Yeah, and then the afternoon game. This could be fun. This could be an absolute track meet with Netherlands and Austria. Although Austria will be without Ronnie's boy Marko Arnautovic, who did get a 1-game suspension for I don't know what exactly he said, but he said something about fucking another player's mother.
Yeah, it was something inappropriate. I don't know. I wasn't there, obviously, but he's gone.
Yeah.
So.
But still, I mean, like you made the point the other day, like Netherlands is the anti-Italy. They're like, okay, we're gonna score 5 goals, and we don't care if we don't care if we concede 4 as long as we score 5.
5 should be enough. Whatever happens, we should be there at the end. But yeah, it's hard for them to have a boring game because of the way they play. So always a fun game to watch with the Netherlands involved. With the time that we have left here, I just want to talk about baseball.
Let's do it.
Can we talk about baseball? I don't know
talk about it.
if I'm beating a dead horse here, but alas, I'll beat the dead horse. So now they have announced there will be a 10-game suspension with pay for anyone caught using any substance on their hand, which actually I saw after the show on Monday. Charles Barkley, right before going to commercial on Inside, was like, hey, way to show these guys. 10-game suspension with pay. 10-game vacation. All right, as far as I'm concerned, that's great. But, which, again, it's further just points to, what are you guys doing? But, yeah, the substance on the hand thing, yes, the trendy thing is the spider tack going on.
Mm-hmm.
People have been putting stuff on their hands to throw baseballs for a long time,
sure.
whether it's spider tack or not. And, we saw Glasnow get hurt the other day, and he said, I had to kind of change the way I had to grip the ball. I can still have big enough hands where I can, grip it and, throw this way, but, changing it in the middle of the season is kind of how is this an answer? Because you guys let it go up to this season, and now you're gonna change it midway through. I don't know if more guys are going to get hurt. Probably they are. My main thing is I really side with the argument of I feel like more batters might get hit. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. I mean, I do feel weird about the situation. I'm never against, if a guy's doing something illegal and gets caught, punish him. I've never had an issue with that. But I have had an issue with the fact that, mid-season, the MLB all of a sudden decides they want to correct. It's kind of like when you watch the college baseball World Series. We'll use that for an example. all season, umpires rarely ever call balks. Almost never do it. Then when all the teams get to Omaha, umpires are calling it like crazy. It's like,
Right.
well, you've let these guys do this, whatever it's their pitching motion, don't come to a stop, whatever it is. You let them do this all year, and now you're going to change it during the same season. Like, it's just it doesn't make sense to me. Like why would you change the midseason? And again, like you just said, like probably more batters are going to get hit because like every little thing a pitcher does change everything. Like if you don't have that tech, now the ball's slipping out, or you got to release it early. You got to release it at a different time than you've been doing it. Maybe because the sticky stuff isn't there. Like now you're getting less snap on it, so now the ball's not gonna break, and it's gonna go right at a batter. Like it's a weird situation. Like I appreciate MLB trying to crack down on something for once.
For once, yes.
I can appreciate what they're trying to do. Doing it mid-season is just like that's just kind of the weird thing. I don't know. It's hard to contextualize how I feel about it.
I think with everything that we've heard over the last, like, let's just take it back like 4 or 5 years, like the seams are getting flatter, the balls are getting like slicker, like they're wound up more. We see the home runs going up, like, and then like as soon as the pitcher, like, as I said, this has been going on for a long time, even if it wasn't spider tack, just to get something on there, like, and sometimes it's like way over the top, like, This
has been going on since the early 1900s.
If you have a nail file or whatever you're doing to the ball, like it's been
Crisco,
happening. Yeah,
Vagisil, Bardol,
whatever it is. But it's weird that they super come out like in the middle of the season on this, especially the year before the CBA expires. And then everything that involves home runs are like, let it go. Look at these dingers. Like, we don't care. We didn't do anything to the balls. Well, where every pitcher is like, the balls have been different. Like for the last 4 years, every year the ball's different.
Yeah.
But
you bring up the CBA, of course, which we brought up many times. Like the funny thing is, I don't actually think the players have like a way to like a lane to complain about this, because like this isn't necessarily a new rule. It's just the MLB enforcing a rule that they've neglected to enforce forever.
Just taking a hard line on one thing where they haven't taken hard lines on so many other things, like, and just doing it like very publicly in the middle of the season. But on that note, I do see we have on the line on the Jupiter Records and Tapes Celebrity Hotline, Jupiter Records and Tapes, 2331 University Avenue, your home for outdated music formats. No ID Justin joining the program. Justin, how are you doing this evening?
Good,
what's up, brother?
Sorry, guys. I was watching you on the 405 on the way home, and
I saw you in there.
Yeah.
Better late than never, I guess.
Of course.
Just to piggyback off what you were just talking about, I know we listen to a lot of the same stuff. I can't remember if it was Tim Cates or Vasse was mentioning today. Like, these guys have been told about this for 2 seasons now. You know what I mean? So I know there's this outcry of like, oh, they're going to enforce it like halfway through the season. I understand that. Like, that's kind of ridiculous that now all of a sudden it's going to be an issue. It's like when you're running across a street, not at a crosswalk. It's like, yeah, technically you're jaywalking, but are you really going to get stopped? Is a cop really going to take the time to stop you for that? Well, now they are, so it's, it is. I don't feel like there's any. I'm not buying into that excuse. Like, what's his name, Glass now or whatever, that just recently got hurt. That guy was pitching out of his effing mind. Like, of course you got hurt, dude. You've never pitched this good in your life, and now you can't cheat anymore. So it's, I get the players' response though. Like, if it's not being enforced, and these guys are so, like, baseball more so than any other sport, these guys are so habit and repetition,
what they're used to, yeah.
Yeah, your routine is set, you know what I mean? Especially for a pitcher, so it is crazy. I still think, the 10-day suspension with pay is effing laughable to me. I mean, for a lot of guys, that's potentially 1 start. And shit, if you're like say you're doing a bullpen game and you're that reliever starting the game, why the hell not, dude? You know what I mean? Throw some sticky stuff on there, see if you can't, go lights out for 2 innings, and then your ass is getting pulled anyways,
So what about let's say I saw this here online earlier that kind of made me laugh. Let's say you're a AAA pitcher. You get called up for just a spot start, just like, hey, we need somebody here, and then we're going to sit you back down. Why not do it? Because then if you get caught, guess what? I still get 10 days pay at a major league level.
Well, now I'm not entirely sure that that would be the case, only
It may
because
not be, but
yeah, I know this was an issue when like back when George Springer had first came up. I don't know if you guys were familiar with the story, but basically George Springer George Springer was Randy Gregory. He could not put the bong down. He kept testing positive for marijuana. So what they would do is they would bring him up because, like, basically, if you're in the farm, like if you're in AAA, AA, single A, to my knowledge, as far as I'm aware, you are not protected by the MLB Players Union.
that
So
would make
you
sense.
don't. So like that was something like in the minors, if you test positive once, it's like a 60-day suspension or something like that. So what the Astros did when they first drafted George Springer was once a month they would bring him up to the Major League Ball Club, let him play a couple games, and then shoot him back down. You know, so that way, because at the Major League level, I believe it's three bad tests before you ever like start seeing some like punishment for that. So it is. I mean, it's there's at the end of the day, these guys are going to find loopholes and they're going to find ways to do it. I echo the sentiment of Pete Alonso, though, man. Like, if I'm a hitter getting in that box, these guys are throwing harder than they've ever thrown before. Guys are
I don't
throwing
want to get
105,
smoked.
106.
Yeah.
I want the dude to have the most grip possible on the baseball. I don't want the ball slipping out of that pitcher's hand if he's throwing it near my head at 105 miles an hour. So I can see both sides, and I think I'm safe to say I speak for the two gentlemen pictured to my right when I say we're all for juicing, man. We're all for like load up, dude. Give all the hitters steroids. Give all the pitchers Spider X Tac Ultra 5000. I don't care, dude. Like just get them out there, let them play. If one team can use it, the other team can use it, and let's go. You know what I mean? Everybody can bang trash cans. Everybody can use Spider Tac. Let's fucking go.
Well, and to your, not specifically, but, as you invoke Springer, uh, Carlos Rodon on the White Sox did bring up a good point as it pertains to the Astros and this situation where they're just like all of a sudden like super hard ass on it.
The way I look at it is it's hard to see this when you're giving out 10-game suspensions for cheating, but you give the Astros no suspensions at all. So, I mean, if Rob Manfred can look himself in the mirror and say, hey, I'm doing the right thing, that's fine. You can't suspend the team that you actually knew was cheating during a playoff game. That's on you.
Can somebody remind Carlos that when he says Rob Manfred, he is referencing the man that went on record and referred to his trophy as a hunk of metal. So
Piece of metal. Yep.
I don't think he gives two shits.
Yeah,
it's been clear for a long time. Manfred doesn't care about baseball.
Further circled back to like, it's bad when the discipline is like more arbitrary than the NFL. Like that's pretty bad. Like at least Goodell has kind of like slid to the back on that. Like we're gonna have processes. We're gonna like chill, like because it was really bad for a time. But now Manfred is like the main offender on this. Like these guys aren't gonna get in trouble. These guys are suddenly gonna get in a bunch of trouble. Like, and it's just like, dude, you know why this is gonna be a lockout, right? Like baseball season's probably not gonna start till like July next year. Probably because of you, bro. Not just this one thing, but just like the aggregate of like all the weird shit that you do all the time that no one can like, oh, he's taking a line on this, but then he's way over here on this. Like,
Shout out to the great Jeffrey Gorman, who always referred to him as I believe it was Manfred Man. Manfred Man.
That's right. It's blinded by the lights. But I'm kind of curious to see what more players' reactions are. Like I was telling Ronnie, just before we went on air, I saw that Trevor Bauer had released like a 30-minute video talking about it on his YouTube. I don't know if it was on the Momentum page or on his own page. Yeah, but I mean, I'm curious to hear from him because he's kind of like he was kind of the catalyst of this whole thing a few years ago. when he just like he was saying, look, MLB, there's something going on with the pitchers doctoring the ball, whatever. They did nothing about it, so he said, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. You're gonna see a difference. MLB still did nothing, so it's like, well, let's keep doing it.
Please tell me the title of his YouTube video is Southern California Power Outage.
I don't know. I don't know what the title
It's
of
a
the video
rolling power outage. It's a rolling power outage.
Yeah, rolling power
It's peak
outage.
hours,
There we go.
dude. Peak hours.
Low spin rate Power Outage.
There it is. There it is. But yeah, I like that.
Like I said,
later.
I agree with what Justin said. If you're cheating and you're like openly cheating, a lot of guys have not really. We saw Garrett Cole just like, like, okay, so you're admitting it. Even Glasnow was like, yes, I have put stuff on my hand. Like, I'm just going to say it right now. But they're not really hiding behind it. I haven't seen anyone come out like, I'm putting my foot down. I never would have done that, blah, blah, blah. It's more of just like, to me, for one, I do feel like more guys are going to get hit. And the main thing beyond that is like, Manfred, dude, like this is where you really are, like this is your hard line right now. Like this, of all the things you choose, like of everything that's gone on,
yep,
you just look like more of a clown. Like, and you're really not looking good in this situation either. So, I don't know. That CBA is gonna be rad. Tony Clark, hit us up if you want to be a guest. I'm sure it's gonna be lit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest. At this point, I have a better chance of going in and leading negotiations for a Major League Baseball CBA.
Anyone else? Because there is no damn way that this is going to get resolved by opening day.
Those few entrepreneurs and investors that are out there, let the record state, I will negotiate the MLB CBA and I will knock out Lamar Odom. Just call me.
All right, we're starting to GoFundMe for Justin to do both. It's a group fund, so he's going to lead the CBA negotiations. He's going to box the shit out of Lamar Odom as a gentleman. You know, obviously he's dealt with some health problems, but you know he'll be polite about it. He's just going to lay him out.
I don't like to tie myself down into one skill. You know, I feel like I'm a five-tool player.
Man.
You know,
Renaissance man. But
dude, maybe we can get you to train with Shinigami for the fight. That would be sweet if we could get a sparring session with you and Shinigami.
I mean, you can't get two Palmdale powerhouses in the same ring, though. Like you're liable to cause serious damage to the surrounding area.
True.
Legally, I don't know if that's allowed. I don't know. I don't think Newsom will let that
the
fly.
The Palmdale Town Charter just says no. Like we can't.
I mean, within the state, I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna.
Good Mayor RX Paris will not allow that.
We'll have to go to international waters for this fight.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. Just do it off the coast, like
15
what's
miles
the Leonardo DiCaprio, Daniel Day-Lewis movie, Gangs of New York? Just do it like that, like on the boat off to the side. It'd be fantastic. That'd be sweet, man. I could put Lamar Odom to bed, and then we could lay him to rest at sea.
Yep, CEO Nick's got you. Second round KO over LO.
I mean, clearly Nick has seen the footage of the Lamar Odom-Aaron Carter fight because you watch about 20 seconds of that, and if you're not putting money on me, I'll fight you.
If you're not thrown up in your mouth after 20 seconds, like, just, I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know who hurt you in the past if you're still watching by then.
Yeah, the Lamar Odom-Aaron Carter fight literally looked like a grown-ass man, like, trying to beat up an 8-year-old for no reason. And the 8-year-old wanted no part of it, too, mind you.
Oh, so bad. So bad. Damn you, boxing. Damn you, boxing.
Boxing.
Hey, yeah, like I said, I felt like we had a good talking points and good segment last week when we were both touching on the fact that, like, this is boxing now, man. If guys can make more money to fight Paul brothers than they can to fight for one of the 27 belts, you know, in their weight class, then yeah, why not, dude?
Look, I can never be mad at the person for going to get the money, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe that's just an indictment on the sport, that's the way to get money rather than actually, like, fighting legit fighters.
Well, it's the product of all these promoters and all the politics, like now, fast forward, like this could fly in the 80s and the 90s, but now here we are, fast forward 25 years, this shit doesn't fly anymore. We don't know, Jaime. There's a good chance that Arkansas Slim could have something to do with it, but I can neither confirm nor deny.
Maybe Lamar Odom went and got him.
Oh, if that's the case, I'm on my way to rescue him. No problem.
But yeah, anyways, back to baseball. I don't know. It's such a, like I said, I just been having a lot of trouble contextualizing this. Like I said, I have no problem under normal circumstances of, hey, if you catch a guy cheating, punish him. That's fine. But it's just the timing of it just seems so weird, man.
No, and like I said, I get that. I get, I kind of argue for both sides. I get what they were mentioning earlier. They're like, hey, these guys sent out memos 2 seasons ago to let these guys know to knock this shit off, and they weren't. But you know what? You guys sent out memos for fools to knock off steroids, and that shit ran on for 50 years. So, you got to be a little more assertive, I guess. And yeah, it is. Because you're sending mixed signals. You know what I mean? It's like, how are you going to go from okay, these are the rules, these are the parameters, and now all of a sudden, no, you can't use none of this shit. And that's the thing I think that's real crazy. It'd be one thing if they were specifically banning spider tack or something like that, but the fact that they're just painting a broad stroke and just saying no substance whatsoever, that's pretty shitty. You know what I mean? You're going 0 to 60. That's not okay.
Yeah.
Well, they still got the rosin bag. I mean, come on.
Just wait till there's gonna be dudes eating different types of foods to generate wet farts, and then they're gonna get sticky substances that way. There's gonna be.
Or I hope one of my, and Justin, you could back me up on this, fellow gingers, just all right, dude, I'm gonna go out there with no sunscreen and just get totally burnt to hell because
yeah.
No.
Are you? Yeah.
That
if you're throwing me more than 1 inning, I'm toast, bro.
That is a good question. If it's a day game, how are you going to tell a guy you can't wear sunscreen?
He touched his arm.
That's fine. You're just going to open the door for massive skin cancer lawsuits, 15 years down the line after guys retire. NFL will have CTE lawsuits, MLB will have, skin cancer lawsuits. A bunch of fair-skinned dudes.
Mad melanoma after they put that sticky substance ban in.
Yeah,
Dude,
probably for the
fucking up again.
Might be for the best that Dustin May's out for the rest of the year because he'd be
not even, dude. You're gonna tell me Toomgis over at first base can't apply a little SPF 30? Get the fuck out of here.
If he ever throws the ball to the pitcher, no, totally banned. So keep up the great work, Manfred. Trust the process.
Man.
We're totally on board with everything you're doing. It's great. Good luck with the negotiations, though. Can't wait.
Enjoy this baseball season, folks, because we may not have one next year.
Well, I mean, we'll have one maybe in July, like I said. Once
Manfred.
we know the answer here. The knockout of Lamar Odom is just a bonus. That's a throw-in. I'll give you that, and I'll squash the labor beef. Just let Justin slide in.
No argument.
All right. Well, I'm glad I'm back on camera. My phone actually was 40% battery. I don't know what happened this time, but it seems to happen all the time.
Your phone's been screwing up lately, man.
Well, we'll see. Good luck on Friday. But
Kawhi Leonard of cell phones. Right there.
I try to load minutes throughout the day, and then doesn't matter.
Do it.
Doesn't
Clippers
matter.
up by 6 halfway through the third.
Pandemic P.
Oh, that's what we don't like. Hey, good luck to the Clippers. Whatever, dude. I don't care. I wish you ill, Rob Manfred, everyone else. I'm cool with you. Justin, Tyler, you got anything else before we get out of here?
Nothing. You're both very handsome and talented. That's about it.
Well, I can't say I'm not flattered, but thank you.
Just quick shout out, Montreal Canadiens tying up their series, beating Vegas 3-2.
No.
Let's go Habs.
Les Habitants. All right.
Other
Well,
than that, I got nothing.
on that note, thank you guys for joining us. There will be some kind of rebrand, like at some point. I don't know, because it's taking a lot more effort than I originally thought it would. But we do want to keep doing the show for you guys, even the hardcore followers, all 6 of you that watch the show. But it's
Talking to you, Jaime.
Jaime, I see you. See you, big dog. CEO Nick, keep supporting. Keep sending the money and the shirts and whatever. But, if
Thank
we
you
ever,
for my new load management schedule.
if we see
There
him
we go.
ever again, if he ever returns from the Oculus Matrix. But thank you guys, as always. And we will
Don't take the
see
red pill.
He can't hear you. Wherever he's at now, he can't hear you. He's already
trapped, dude.
He
gone.
belongs. He belongs to the Matrix now. I mean, we can only hope to see him again. But thank you as always. You guys know the drill. Please keep the fire.
Keep the fire.